Didn't wanna make sense of it, but I had to. Put the bullshit to the side and get a God body, God mind, God soul, but I'm still a man. It's a thin line between both. It's still a line between where I'm at and finna go. Dark to the light, that's the finna let it go. I'm getting closer to my low. I call my dad on the phone just to say hello. It ain't that much I need to know. I got kids on my own shit. They finna be grown shit. Even when you right, they still say that you're wrong. Lord, protect me from these enemies. 50 told me that winners don't get no sympathy. I see enemies linking with other enemies. They forget they only friends cause they friends with me. Gotta put myself in positions that niggas need me. But I get possessive over shit I love so easy. Everybody getting money, shout to EDD. So you should leave out different than how you enter quarantine. Look at everything I got. How could I ever want more? Look at everything I had. Had to learn to let it go.
Then you go play some music.
Walking through the valley of the field of war. Do I want the spirit of material? All my life I sacrifice. Get rid of devices and my vices. Forgive a bitch nigga, that's good advice. But it's ripping through my spirit and I need to make it right. Forgive me, Lord, for acting like a man again. Peace be still like a mannequin. Keep quiet, cause I never understand this shit. Wrist deep in the holy water, rinsing my hands. If I could rewind time, I keep my dick in my pants. We all cursed till we dead. Read St. Thomas, it's all red. That means Jesus wrote it, he the most high. I'm a close eye, listen to my old stuff, you might know sign. Is it ironic that I pray in my closet? And thank God for everything but my wallet. Started to develop myself and got grateful. And through it all, I learned that he's able. Amen. 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 I learned that amen mean truth, by the way. Amen.
What's good? It's your boy Jay Brock and Clap It Up LA, and you are now tuned in to God Talk Live.
Yo, it's your girl DJ to the one West B, baby. Look, Water Wars representative, and I'm letting you know right now, we're reporting live right now from God Talk, just like that. Sean, talk to him, man.
YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, what's the deal? You know we had to run it back with Dane.
I did you wrong, I gotta live with that.
Dane Diesel on the pulpit, one more again.
One more. Like I never didn't miss you till you gone. When you were around, my days are better. Can't believe we really done. Before we hit another level, I really could have played my cards.
Shout out to all the crazy people that was at my house last night for tacos.
Same reason you
say kitties and tacos, y'all don't. Y'all just bear with me. We get started early. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch.
Open it, I hope you feeling everything you read. Then my feelings down and been acting like I don't need you. I really hope that you write back. Cause I'm writing this letter. I don't know if it's gonna reach ya. Everything you need. Then my feelings down and been acting like I don't need you. I really hope that you write back. Cause I'm just waiting, just know I'm burning for your love. Just know I'm yearning for your touch. Baby, I miss you. To who this may concern, you got me burning for
Dane, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Dane, are you ready?
Let's get it.
You're a very patient man, Dane.
Let's get it.
Very patient man, Dane.
Let's
YouTube.
go, America.
Twitter.
Actually, let's go to the world.
Okay. YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, what's the deal if you know where you at? Welcome to Flip Back Guy Talk Live. I'm your host, Sean of Guy Radio, Sean August. To the left of me, the only hip-hop song. What was your?
Classics.
Let me see.
Only hip-hop show, baby. Shouts out LP.
You by my side.
Engineer extraordinaire.
Touch the sky. We win. We win, we win, we win. Keep doing more drops. I like that. We win, we win, we win, we win.
We got Radio Racer.
We win, we win, we win.
With the flicks. Chrissy B. Who else do we have up there? And of course, we had the Sean Officer in the house. Yeah, the Only Hip Hop Show. Go check them out. YouTube Only Hip Hop Show.
He'll do what he said he will do. He will stand by his word. He will come through. No weapon. I feel a little nasally. I don't know how that's going to work in today's Work Wednesday. I'm supposed to be recording music all day today. But shout out to today, man.
Shouts out to today. It's hump day, middle of the week. Be grateful you've got it this far.
Facts.
You feel me? A lot of people didn't make it this far, so we did. Be grateful. And so shouts out to, real quick, Sean. Shouts out to Sean. I just saw something real inspirational. He has the 1111 board. Is that pretty much what it is?
That's exactly what it is.
I didn't really know. I just really threw that out there. But yeah, the 1111 board, positive affirmations is right there in the crib. So no matter what, you go see something positive before you step out of that crib.
Come on now.
Like, that was pretty dope. I'm going to have to start incorporating something like that at me and mine. So, stay tuned.
And the funny part, Lou, what's the deal, baby? Shout out to YouTube. The crazy part about that is that's my first painting.
Oh, for it?
Yeah, that's my first painting, and I really wanted it to be 1111, but I wanted to turn it sideways so it would just look like lines,
Okay.
But
So, from my perspective, it looked like it was landscape, but you saying you wanted
yeah,
to do
originally I wanted it like that.
landscape?
I wanted it
portrait?
Portrait.
Yeah, okay.
But I flipped it just to, I didn't want to confuse the people. I leave the introspective art for later on in my life. But ultimately, in the hallway in my crib, in the mansion, I have a painting I did that looks like a black clock with the red 1111 on it. And all around it, I posted things that I would necessarily say to myself when 1111 comes around, because 1111 is supposed to be a angel number.
Word?
Yeah, 1111 is an angel number, and that's when you're supposed to.
Shouts out to Baby D Lee then.
Yeah, you're supposed to say your wishes.
One of my frat brothers, his son is born 11/11/11. Like, facts. If his time was 11/11, then that just would be just the coincidence of the universe. I'll have to find out though.
Yeah, 1111 is an angel number. Ideally, normally, when you see 1111, the thing to do is you say a wish.
Word.
You wish for something on 1111. But I like to take that time to truly be grateful for the wishes that have already came true. You know what I'm saying? Because the blessings reigns. And as Jamie said, sometimes even a stroke is a blessing. So everything is really a blessing. I just use that 1111 to kind of control my own thinking in my own 1111. And it ain't got to be 1111 for me to see 1111, because I painted that shit on my wall.
Nice.
So with that said, I got Post-its with all these positive affirmations.
So it's always 11/11.
It's always 1111.
There it is.
It's always. The clock is never wrong. And if you have been to the mansion and you've seen it, hopefully you didn't just walk by it, but if you do pay attention to it, you will see a marker and some Post-its there.
Facts,
so you can feel free to
facts.
add your own wish. A lot of people, he was actually the first one to ever do that and see it.
Word?
Yes. So shout out to Dane. It's something about Dane, man. It's really there. Before we do that, yeah, let's go ahead and pray, man. Let's go ahead and pray. How you feel? You feeling in a public praying mode, or how you feel?
Same thing?
Yeah.
You want me to do the same thing? Is something you're thankful for and something you're grateful for?
Something to be, thank God for something and then ask God for something.
Yeah, thank you, Nax. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for another opportunity to use the gift of imagination to create the day, to make it a great day. We just ask that you give us more knowledge, you give us more wisdom, you give us more insight into this thing called life, so that as we are going through this journey, we have the proper paradigms and mindsets to navigate this journey from where we are to where we want to be. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. To my white Lord and Savior. My white Lord and Savior. And then I just discovered that, well, I didn't just discover, but I was able to verbalize that Slink Johnson is my black Lord and Savior. That's Black Jesus, man. I don't know if you didn't watch that on Comedy Central, but it was very spiritual building and faith building. So shout out to Slink Johnson. That's my black Lord and Savior. And then I got my white Lord and Savior right here. Both I credit so dearly for strengthening my faith. With that said, shout out to Faith from yesterday, man. Shout out to everybody that pulled up to my house. We got taco wasted. Everybody else got drunk. It was definitely a hot box in this number. It was crazy. Shout out to everybody for being here. And I know niggas got work and shit in the morning, but clearly we don't give a fuck when tacos is in the air. So shout out to Shay for making the tacos. Shout out to everybody that pulled up, all the team that pulled up. I love y'all. If y'all see the Taco Tuesday on Instagram, that is more than your invite. All you got to do is hit me up and ask me for the address. I don't really do the personal invite shit, but everybody's welcome.
Taco Tuesday.
Why wasn't you here, Dane?
Oh, I was in IT class.
Okay. All right. I guess that's that, right?
Well,
can't battle.
I did have as I'm starting to call them breakthroughs.
Okay.
I did have a breakthrough when I was in class yesterday.
I'm listening.
So, I'm in IT class. We're going over DevOps, and we were basically I was understanding. Basically, we're working on Linux, so I'm just understanding like command lines, but I kind of like had that aha moment of like, all right, so this specific command line is for us to for us to be able to navigate the operating system in regards to files and data and understanding the management of the two. And that was kind of like an aha moment, only because for my whole life I've always wondered what the purpose of that screen was. But now that I'm actually learning how to use it and how to maximize it, I'm starting to understand the possibilities in regards to what the future has in store tech-wise for me. As I expand my understanding of it. So yeah, get some tech game out there. And that's another thing too, bro. I'm on this site. It's called LabX. I believe that's what it's called. LabX.com or LabX.co, one of those, or IO. But nevertheless, they have a ton of free courses that you can just get started with. And so again, the 2-minute rule. If you've been saying that you want to get into tech, if you've been saying you want to make a career shift, if you've been saying you want to do something different, as we talked about the last episode, tech is going to be where it's at in the future. So you might as well start skilling up in tech. And there's a lot of free resources out there that'll give you the ability to learn the fundamentals of that industry and of the languages that it consists of, so that you can begin and, like you said, forge that new path forward. Doing something different, doing something that you say that you want to do, but something that's relevant in regard to the direction that the world is going in.
Something impactful.
Yeah, something impactful.
Meaningful, something that's going to make
valuable.
Somebody's life.
Because again, like I said before, we got to develop not just skills, but marketable skills. Because again, we can go to school or we can go take courses and do all this stuff, but is it marketable? Marketable being, do people want it in the workforce? Is it a highly sought off skill set, and not just, again, going back to levels of value, something to where you're just implementing? Because again, imagination, communication, these are skills as well as just your hard skill of, for example, I'm a plumber who knows how to plumb, in a sense. Communication is a skill. Imagination is a skill. And those skills, are the ones that create the fortunes, I should say. And we can develop those just by operating within a paradigm that gives us permission to do so. And it's just as simple as that.
We threw paradigm around a lot last episode, and I called you, I text you in pure excitement because those aha moments are real.
Yes.
And last episode was full of them, and it continued. It followed me into cracking open a new book, and the second chapter was Paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to ask, through this last week, from the last time I seen you till now, was there anything that you picked up that you learned more about the word paradigm?
Well, the information that you sent me definitely gave me a little bit more perspective in regards to being able to articulate what a paradigm is, finding the right words to describe it to someone when you're trying to describe it. And in the book that you sent over, it was a paradigm being roughly a roadmap that you use to navigate your journey through life. And it's a mental model, a mental map in a sense. So, like I said before, when I was reading that other book, Last Word on Power, she identified a universal human paradigm being that of the focus on should or shouldn't. You know, life should work out some way, life shouldn't work out some way. And if it doesn't, then someone's wrong. Someone's to blame, whether it's me, them, or it. And that's something that represents like that always already listening to where it's like, again, it's here, you know what I mean? So it's going to, everyone's born into it. It's nothing that you can get around simply because you're just not aware of it. Because there's things that we know, then there's things that we don't know that we don't know. Then there's also things that we don't necessarily know that we don't know. And that's what paradigms basically represents, because everyone's operating on the should, shouldn't, so supposed to, ought to. So anytime you're using those types of words, like that's in a sense you kind of like waving a white flag that you're operating from the universal human paradigm in that regards. And why that's important is because, again, like I said before, it serves your shoulds and shouldn'ts and ought tos and whatnot. That represents your winning strategy, what you think you need to do to be successful in life. But it's also the source of the limitations for you being able to get past that current level of success that you're yearning to get past. That next level, as we like to call it, you know, that level up, that elevation. So the very thing that helped us get from point A to point M, in a sense, is also the thing that's keeping us stuck at point M and not being able to move forward to get through the alphabet to Z, so we can then start over again and, you know, within a new goal or new vision. So it's just base that, you know what I'm saying, understanding like again, like this roadmap that's subconsciously guiding us through life, because again, it's representing what we believe we need, what we believe we should be doing or shouldn't be doing. But that's also the limit to what we could be doing or what's possible beyond our limitation of should, because anything that we believe we can't do, we label it as impossible. That's where the label impossible comes from. Because, you should, you know, a kid should be able to tie their shoes by 2. Oh, well, they're 4. So since they can't, then tying shoes must be impossible. But then just be that repetition of impossible. Now that kid grows up believing that it's impossible for them to tie their shoes. I believe the formal word for that is learned helplessness. They developed that only because of the paradigm in which they're operating from, because they said that he should have been able to do something at a certain age, but since he wasn't able to do it, then now it must be impossible because he can't do it.
Or it must be a problem with
it. Must be a problem with it. Something, like I said, something must be wrong. So then they send him to the doctor, and then the doctor says, oh, he has this condition.
I'm here. Now we in the pharmaceutical part.
Now he's put on some sort of script. Now that he's on, then he also gets put in a special class. When in reality it was just that the paradigm in which he was.
It was learned helplessness.
It was learned helplessness. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily a condition.
All based off of the paradigm of should.
Yeah, because you know we have these like for example like because in the context of 1944 people was married at 18. So if someone's not married by 18, then what's wrong? Oh, if someone's not married by 28, then what's? So it's just like every generation it kind of gets put out, but it's still the same framework is what people need to start understanding. The times may change, so it may go for let's just say you should be married by 18, might in decades go to you should be married by 25, to decades to you should be married by 30, but it's still the same paradigm because you're operating within should.
Should but be married by 30. That's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Pause. As I explained our experience on the show to my uncle, we discussed paradigm. He was subscribing to it, and I reverence my uncle, and I love my uncle. My uncle is old-minded.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle is old-minded. That's the best way I could say it. And oftentimes I present new ideas to him, and to the point where I've kind of stopped because he's old-minded. So sometimes these things can kind of feel, introducing these thoughts can feel more like an invasion opposed to just my nephew giving me some game.
Right.
And
Trying to update my software.
yeah, update your software. It feels like I'm hacking, and
Mm-hmm.
it reacts like that. So I don't do it as often as I need to, or as often as I would like to, or often as he needs, because I don't want to push anybody away.
Mm-hmm.
But I do ask sincere questions. If you're talking to me, okay, be mindful of the questions that I ask you. One, because they're sincere, and two, they're really cerebral. I need to know the logic and the thought process behind your decision making, your actions, your words. All right.
Facts.
So when I ask these questions, what you say, you're waving up a white flag of your strategy. When you answer these questions, sometimes they'll expose your entire mental capacity. They'll expose
Your entire belief system.
your
right?
entire belief system.
Yeah.
So we were talking to my uncle, and you can talk to my uncle. So I don't want to put this where I'm throwing a spell out there. I just want to tell the story how it is. When I was talking to my uncle was quick to agree, understand paradigm,
Mm-hmm.
but he immediately went to, I'm 69 years old, and what's the average lifespan of a man? And we all know, we've all heard that paradigm of that lifespan. It's 70-something years, whatever. And basically he was like doing the math. Well, really, I got 9 years left, and with my illnesses, because my uncle had the blessing of having a stroke. He had a blessing of the stroke. And he was like, with my illnesses and my conditions, those 9 years was realistically 2. Very morbid, very dark, and I'll check out. If he gets on that unraveling mode, I'll check out, because if you feed it, it'll still it'll build, and I don't want to feed it. So I kind of stepped away, and then he realizes, he said, it's too early in the morning to be talking like this. So let's just, or it's too early in the morning for this. Let's just talk about something else. So soon as he finished that statement, one of his millionaire homies walk out. And his millionaire homie clearly had a condition with his hip, his knee, his leg, everything, right?
Right.
He comes outside and he says damn near the exact opposite of my uncle. He comes out, he says, yeah, man, I'm 81. I got to go. I do my therapy, It's 60% in the mind, It's just, I just keep reading. I just keep learning. And my uncle's whole spiel was, I only have 9 years of life left. How much more can I learn? How much more can I change? That was his whole, like, I understand paradigm, but I don't need to use a paradigm because I'm almost out of here.
I don't need to reinvent myself, right? Because I'm already out.
And then
mentally though, he's already out.
He's already out mentally.
Yeah.
And then the millionaire comes out and he says the exact opposite to the T. And then he furthers like, hey, yeah, I have knee problems. I need to go up and down the stairs. I count 10 times. I go up and down 10 times. These are things that I've been telling my uncle to do. Like, hey, you got to get in the paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
You may be sore after. You may be in pain after. You may be frustrated after. You may be overwhelmed. You may be underwhelmed. Who knows what'll happen in the paradigm. But you being in the paradigm of, you know what? it is my mind. I do have to reinvent myself.
Yep.
I do got to put in some effort. I can change. I can learn. You putting yourself in that paradigm alone opposed to rejecting it is so much healing there.
100%.
You know, and it's sad that I have to see my uncle mentally, because physically, yeah, he had a stroke. But is he sick? Is he ill? No. My uncle is healthy, you know, and because he had a stroke, I feel like he can't get in the health paradigm because he's so focused on who he used to be and what it is now, and he doesn't understand that this stroke is a blessing.
So it's like
Shout out to Jamie Foxx.
he's unwilling to let go of like you said, who he feels he should be.
He's unwilling to let go. I called him Al Bundy because you know how Al Bundy, he lives in his football year. My uncle lives in the days that he had a full body, and it's almost been 20 years, which is okay is a beautiful thing to be able to reflect.
Of course,
It's a
100%.
beautiful thing, but you also it's a better thing when you can reflect and ultimately maximize where you're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that will get you to the desired place sooner than you just staying in reflection mode and pity partying about it. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So it's a paradigm. It really made some things plain. You know, it really is a roadmap, and you can't reject roadmaps if you're going somewhere, if you want to go somewhere. And unbeknownst to us, whether you want to go somewhere or you don't want to go nowhere, you have to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make moves. You have to embrace movement because you're not just going to stand still.
Yep. So going back to the book you had sent me earlier, as I'm listening to it, you know, they were saying some things that I definitely had some aha moments about. And one of them was this.
No More Mr. Nice Guy is the book we're referencing right now.
Yeah, my bad. But one of the points was this need to, again, seek approval by being right or figuring out, you know, how to be right. And it made me start thinking about, again, when you are operating from that paradigm of should, that pretty much is what you're focused on. Because again, it's your winning strategy. So I should do this in order, because if I do this, it will be right. But then when you do that thing and you get the feedback that it was quote unquote wrong, then you go back to the drawing board. And the crucial mistake most of us make, which is what we're all taught within that paradigm of should, is just try harder. Just try harder.
I'm listening.
Just try harder. But again, you can't get a new result if you keep doing the same thing.
Without
just harder.
yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to reinvent. That's why I said you got to reinvent. Because
Yes,
again,
well
it's
said.
like what they say, doing the same thing, getting the same outcome. But just because you try, quote unquote, try harder, doing the same thing, you're still going to get the same outcome. So it's not that we have to try harder. It's that we have to let go of this idea of, well, I should have, if going back to the book, if I'm nice, then I should get love and approval and affection from people.
Niggas is being nice for the wrong reason.
Mm-hmm. That's what one of the basic points of Mr. Nice Guy was. That was pretty much the paradigm that he said that the nice guy lives in, and that if I do nice things for people, then that means that I should get nice, favorable treatment back from people. But again, that's that paradigm of should, as opposed to just, again, letting go of just
Being.
should.
What did you say last time? Just being.
And just being whatever you're gonna be, in order to. But it's not like you're being whatever you're gonna be, just, you know, haphazardly. It's being who you want to be based upon that vision that you've set for yourself. Because again, you have to be something to accomplish or turn this vision of this future state that you see for yourself into a reality. Because again, the current level that you're at, however you view it in this case, we're saying, okay, for example, I've gotten from high school, I've gotten from preschool to graduate of high school. Now, how do I get to that next level or get to that next quote unquote accomplishment of, let's just say, college graduate? I have to reinvent myself, because if I be the same person that I was from K through 12, that's not necessarily going to help me finish from college, from, you know, freshman year in college to, you know, graduation, because again, the dynamics change. One of the biggest things being time management. And from K through 12, you necessarily had no authority in the sense over your time to have a schedule in that regards, unless you just came from a household that taught you how to do that. So a lot of kids go to college and they fell out, quote unquote, not because they're intellectually disabled in a sense, but it's just because they weren't prepared for time management. Literally, they just weren't prepared for it. Yeah. So you had a kid who pretty much, they went to from K through 12. They pretty much, had the protection and covering of mom, dad, the school system, yada yada yada. Then they went off to college to pursue a degree to become a lawyer, let's just say. But now they went from having to manage no time to now all 24 hours. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's big. And people overlook that, but that's something that's really big. And if a kid doesn't necessarily understand how to do that and the challenges that come with just the trying to complete a degree, they're going to flunk out, not because they can't do the work, but just the mental exhaust, the mental, because again, they're trying to do something that they don't know how to do.
I'm not managing my time. And like you said, it's overlooked. It's a part of new gained authority, so it's definitely something that flies under the radar when it comes to the success of a student.
Of course.
That was fire.
And when you think about it, again, going back to self-reflection and just being curious about life, being observant, like you said, the old guy was just still reading, still learning. Because I'm the kind of guy, again, where I'm not afraid to look at something different. I'm not afraid to read something different. I'm not afraid to engage in something that goes against everything I currently believe in or represent or stand for. So that has allowed me to just have the ability to get perspective from the other side, as they would say. Look at it from being empathetic, being able to see it from this other opposing view, from my own personal view. And when I applied that to just, looking at when I was in education, and I was just curious, like, how is it that some kids are able to succeed where others aren't? But because, again, I was with these kids, and they were, quote unquote, bright and smart in middle school or high school. But then the report, 2 or 3 years with them being in college was either they had dropped out or they weren't doing too good. And so as I was just reading about it, doing my own research, I came across a couple of resources, and one of the main ones that said, we like the whole idea that, or the stereotype that Asian kids are the smart kids. And there actually has been a study done on that. And what they found was that the Asian kid isn't necessarily smarter than any other kid. It's just the Asian kid spends more time on the problem. That was it. They just spent more time figuring out, working the problem.
That's fire. That
was the only difference between Asian kids and every other kid, black, white, Hispanic, other, whatever. The Asian kid just spent more time on it. So time management.
And going back to the 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes could be a lot of time if niggas ain't spending no time. 2 minutes could give you a very big advantage outside of your day, because if you know the nigga next to you didn't put in that 2 minutes and you put in 2 minutes, as small as 2 minutes could seem, you know what I'm saying? You run at full speed for 2 minutes. Get on the treadmill for 2 minutes. Do push-ups for 2 minutes straight. 2 minutes could really be effective, and it could really give you the game. The biggest reason why I love the 2 minutes, it's a few reasons why I love, but one of the reasons why I love the 2 minutes is because it grants your mind ease.
Mm-hmm.
And the mind needs ease. Like the guy said, his name was Paul. Shout out to Paul the Millionaire. Shout out to Paul the Millionaire. Paul said 60% of it is mental.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the opposites that he said from my uncle, I'm so petty, and my uncle knows how petty I am. And my uncle knows how frustrating it is speaking to him, trying to introduce new forms of perspective. I'm so petty, I walked up to Paul while he was talking to my uncle. I interrupted them, and I said, "Excuse me, Paul, I was eavesdropping, but did I hear you say that 60% of it is mental?" He was like, Yeah, absolutely. And I want to say more because a bigger percent of it is mental, but I don't want to misquote and I don't want to get it wrong. But 60% of this shit is mental.
Mm-hmm.
You have to believe, you have to think that you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think the healing first. You got to think the miracle first. You got to think the bill being paid first. I'm going to give y'all the perfect example right now. How many times, Dane, as a smoker, do you pat your pocket and the lighter isn't there?
Too many.
Too many, right? After I roll this blunt on the show, I thought to myself, or the thought entered my mind, damn. Because I didn't see it immediately in my perspective, I immediately was like, damn, I left the lighter. I thought about an outcome that I didn't want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately, bro, I checked my thoughts and I said, I'm going to have the lighter in my pocket. Reached in my pocket and there's a lighter. As insignificant as it could be, that's how easy it can be.
Yes.
That's how easy it is, a flip of a switch. But you can't really understand that if you're not in the paradigm, if you reject the paradigm. I described it to you and I described it to my uncle as these different light beams. When you were speaking,
Yeah.
it was the light beams were shooting out of my eyes. It was I could have grabbed it.
Yeah.
Pulse. I could have grabbed it and, you know, the little laser show.
Yeah.
I could have did that whole 9 because I saw it so vividly. And you got to jump in that. And you got to jump in that light stream, that beam to create your own. You got to jump in the paradigms to create your own.
So let's bring this full circle, bro, and talk about how people can actually use paradigms to, quote unquote, reinvent themselves and, you know, get to that next level of success that they're yearning for. Think of it a paradigm. So we in tech. Think of a paradigm as an operating system that can run different programs. So like we talked about before, you got RAM so that you can run different programs. But everything that we tap into, everything we read, everything we watch, everything we listen to, that's information, data that's getting downloaded onto our hard drive. And once it's downloaded on our hard drive, quote unquote, in our mind, and again, this can be conscious or unconscious listening or consumption.
Well said.
It's you know, it's still getting consumed by your mind. So that's why they say, you know, you got to be mindful
Excuse me,
of.
Dane, are you saying when I'm not paying attention to something and something going on in the room that it's still paying attention to me?
Yes.
Are you saying my
100%.
subconscious is picking up on all these different things that are going on in the room when I'm not necessarily paying attention to it?
Yes. 100%.
I'm still taking note of it in my mind somehow?
Yes.
It's kind of crazy.
Kind of crazy, but that's just the way our subconscious mind works because it's just raw data to our minds. It's just raw data, just this data coming in, and that's why they say, you know, you got to be mindful of what you listen to. You got to be mindful of what you expose yourself to because, again, it's just raw data going into your mind, and again, once this data is going into our mind, it doesn't understand how to. Well, it will process the data based upon our winning strategy, based upon our paradigm of whatever we operate in.
Let me add something.
Go ahead.
Your subconscious does not know the difference between reality and something that is completely fabricated by your mind alone.
Yep.
It cannot tell the difference. So if you're sitting around a documentary and the documentary is saying something real or saying something fabricated, your mind doesn't, your subconscious, doesn't understand the difference. How do we use that to leverage it? You can tell yourself you're rich.
Mm-hmm.
You can imagine the richness. You can imagine the abundance. You can imagine the whip. You can imagine the husband. You can imagine the crib repeatedly, consistently, and your mind won't understand whether this is real or whether this is fabrication, and it has no other option but to form everything around you to cater to that desire.
Yes.
A little bit more. And shout out to Chris because I'm a little off, guys. I'm just going to be real. I'm off. And my team, anybody that loves me, sometimes they have to listen beyond their attention span. And sometimes I don't think people are listening to me. But Chris repeated something that I've been beating into my head, into everybody's head around me. The moments when you wake up in the morning, the moments before you go to bed at night are the most absolute powerful moments of your mind's day. Do not go to sleep with the fucking Netflix on. Don't go to sleep with that what is the not the VH1, the murder shit, the murder documentaries.
Oh, yeah, 48 first 48.
We don't want no.
The A&E.
I'm going to tell you
Court TV.
what I do before I go to bed. And Lord, thank you so much. Go to bed and turn your affirmations on. If you look on YouTube, don't put on the rainwater. Don't put on the waterfall and the sleep white noise. No, we need things. And the white noise is not going to get us there. Turn on your positive affirmations, because that moment before you go to bed, if you don't take it, somebody else will.
Yes.
Burger King will come for it. What your Instagram feed will come for it. Whatever you go to sleep will pop up in your fucking day in the morning. If not that morning, the next morning. If not, it's so powerful. So please, please, please take control of the moments before you go to. That's why they say pray before you go to sleep.
Facts.
You got to put your mind at ease. You got to put those positive things in your mental soil so you can see them blossom when you wake up in the morning. Turn the fucking Netflix off. Turn the rap music off. No rap music before 12. It's some logic to that. Cut this shit off, because your mind is so sensitive, and we really only want room for ease at this point now. I need only easy things. What say you, Dane?
You're spot on, because they also say that if you actually record yourself saying your affirmations, it has that much more of an impact on you.
Shout out to DJ Wes B. All her alarms are her affirmations. They just go off randomly. You be sitting with her when she's not talking, and then her phone just start talking.
So there's a lot that we can, like I said, giving this full circle practical use in our day-to-day lives. There's a lot we can do, as you just said, and it's things as simple as the 2-minute rule, or making sure that you're purposely watering your mind with positive information, positive data before you go to sleep and when you wake up in the morning. One of the things my brother tells me is that one of the first things he does is listen to a gospel record. No other kind of music before the gospel records. You know what I mean? So it's just, again, we have to take the effort to feed our mind positivity, because like you said, if we allow the world to feed us, because they go feed us something,
they're gonna feed you.
They go force something. They're like I said, they're gonna force something down your throat. So you can either be at their mercy, or you can be at your own. Because like you said, Burger King got a new Whopper they want you to buy. Chevy got a new model of a Camaro they want you to buy. Apple got the new iPhone they want you to buy.
Denzel got a new movie.
Denzel got a new movie.
As fuck.
Denzel got a new movie. Mm-hmm. And it's always something. It's always going to be something. So again, you have to be conscious of this so that you don't get, as they say, caught up in the moment, following the Joneses, trying to keep up with the Joneses, as they say. Because if you do, then again, you're going to be so far off track to the vision that you have set for yourself. Because a lot of people, everybody got a vision of what they want the future to be. Every human being got at least one. We all got at least one. But again, are we operating from the proper paradigm that's going to help us be the person required to turn that vision into a reality? Or are we going to still operate within the already always listening paradigm of the shoulds and the shouldn'ts and the oughts and the supposed tos that, again, was already here?
Let me flip that. Pause. This shouldn't shit. Now that we're leaving this zone, if you don't have any money, you shouldn't have a dream. You shouldn't chase what you want to do. You shouldn't want to be an entrepreneur. That's a easy paradigm to not subscribe to. We talk about, I don't have this, so I shouldn't, or, can't. Is can't a paradigm too?
I would say that's
still in that.
That's
shouldn't.
A byproduct of should, because
shouldn't.
That's the can'ts come in when we try to do something that we think we should do to get to where we want to go, and then when we can't quote unquote do it because we didn't get the outcome we want, then now we label it as impossible.
So, and I'm speaking to myself I pray everybody's listening. The shouldn'ts and the can'ts, and all of our parents said, don't say can't. We all know.
Mm-hmm.
And this is so cool to say because you can say, hey, a new year's coming. For the new year, we can make these resolutions and not sound crazy. Listen, for this new year, shouldn't and can't is no longer a barrier.
Facts.
When you can't do something, drop the T. Hey, drop the T. We're dropping the T, period. That's what we're doing. We can, and we will, because you can let money stop you for forever. I don't care how rich we are. Something's going to cost more than we want it to cost, no matter what. And we cannot allow the thought of lack finances be the barrier between us and where we want to be, where we need to be, where somebody else needs us to be. Because where you desire in your heart you need to be, Dane needs you to be there too. I need Dane to do what he say he gonna do, because what he say he gonna do is directly gonna affect what I say I'm gonna do. I need him to be a resource for me. So don't let don't let these things be a barrier in this new year. So be discouraged all you want at the end of this year. But as soon as January come, be ready to I'm there. They say I shouldn't go, I'll be there. They say I can't go, I'll do that. They say don't do it, oh yeah, I'm definitely doing that.
And again, this is definitely going to sound counterintuitive to what most people believe is.
Counterintuitive is fire.
You know what I mean? I understand that, ladies and gentlemen. I understand this sounds like, you know, I'm talking off the side of my neck, because if you had to talk to 2016 Dane, I would be in the same boat. Like, yeah, he sounds crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's tripping. What do you mean I can do anything I want? Like, I got $100 in my bank account. You know what I mean? But again, that's the limits. We can't be the source of our own limitation by allowing the doubt of, because we've seen in the world that we believe that what we have seen, or we interpreted what we have seen to believe that, oh, you got to have money to be successful or to be an entrepreneur, when in reality it's just a matter of, again, all right, well, this is the vision I have for the future. Step 1, vision. Whoa. Step 2, now it's okay, now that I have this vision, what's next? Okay, I need to have some resources, need some money. Okay, well, what's next? Or who has money? My friend Bill has money. Okay, what's next? Okay, well, hey, Bill, I got this idea. I will put a business plan together. All right, well, what's next? I got to put a business plan together. All right, well, what's next? Now I got to do my research about the business idea that I say I want to do. All right, what's next? Then now I got to set up a meeting with Bill to present. Okay, well, what's next? All right, well, Bill, I present to Bill. Okay, what's next? So Bill likes it. Bill gives me $100,000. Okay, well, what's next? Now I got to use the money that Bill gave me to do what I said I'm going to do. All right, well, what's next? Now I'm doing, and it's just literally a constant cycle of what's next, as opposed to, oh, I got this business idea. Well, damn, they say I'm going to need $10,000 to start it. Well, I ain't got $10,000 in my bank account, so I probably couldn't do it. Probably can't do it. I probably shouldn't do it because I don't got the money. I could probably save for it, but how long is that gonna take? I can't wait that.
Can't wait that long.
Can't wait that long.
Can't wait that long.
I gotta find something else because I should be.
The niggas are going that circle about everything until they in the cemetery.
Yes.
Until they dead and gone, nigga.
Yes.
A nigga will be on that hamster wheel of self.
Yes.
The paradigm of shouldn't.
So that's why you gotta be a thinker in that regard. You gotta critically think, and you gotta be open. So going back, that's what I wanted to say. So going back to our ego. So of course, our ego. So your uncle, in a sense, as an example, he, the ego, is rooted in should, because it's trying to be right. Our ego is trying to be right because it needs us to feel the affirmation that comes from I was
validation.
Right. Yeah, that validation. Yes. So that's why, again, we have to develop that sense of understanding and knowledge so that we can control it. Control it in regards to understand paradigms, being the author of the paradigm that we're living in. That's how you control it. That's how you control your ego.
author of your paradigm is fire.
Because again, the already listening was here already. That was authored by the past.
Yeah.
The shoulds have been authored by the past, because that's where all the shoulds come from. Because back in my day, we did it like this, so this is why you should do it like that. That's from the past.
That's the past.
But
But
again,
I'm writing my own paradigm, Unc. So everything you just said, it gave me so many different thoughts. And it's hard to wrangle them all. And I don't know if we may have time on the show, but we do because we own shit. But one, it makes me feel so important and so minuscule at the same time. Because to be an author of your own paradigm, like we said last show, you have to go read.
yeah.
For lack of vocabulary, but for perfect vocabulary, you have to go read the paradigm. Others' paradigm. Because the paradigm has been left for you, which makes you almost insignificant. Because at this point, you're just a reader until you become the author. And then you become so important because not only are you telling and expressing your paradigm, but you're also furthering the existing paradigm. Because somebody's, if we're looking at it, if as the definition we got, the paradigm is the roadmap. You have to read the roadmap, get to where you gotta go, then write your own roadmap, because somebody's gonna come behind you, pause and read your roadmap that you authored. And they have to get guidance. They got to get direction from what you left. So you have to walk this thin line, or there's this huge growth transition period of you going from insignificant to important. And on that road, there's so many, like you said, shouldn't, can'ts, don'ts, shoulds. I should be
Supposed to. Ought to.
There's so many there, and if you understand the transition, no, you almost have to be insignificant, and you have to value being insignificant. Like we said, Jesus, Donald Trump, Kanye, all these important people were fucking students. They were once insignificant, and they mastered being insignificant. So when that beam got to them, and they had to author, it inspired niggas like us.
Facts.
It freed our souls. Shout out to Jesus. It saved our souls. You know what I'm saying? So just the fact of you mastering your own paradigm, you being the author of your own paradigm, is such power there, for lack of a better word.
So here's another example of that. Prior to, Michael Jordan coming into the NBA, the paradigm for what it took to be a professional in the NBA was you got to go to a powerhouse high school. You got to go to some sort of powerhouse college.
I hear you.
Then you have to get drafted in the NBA, top round, and then you've made it, you've arrived. Yeah. So, like I said, that's the paradigm for if you want to be a high. But then, fast forward, the first to do it was Moses Malone. I don't have to wait.
I read y'all paradigm.
I feel,
I'm about to write my own though.
Yeah, I'm about to write my own.
Yeah.
I'm Moses Malone.
Yes.
This is the Malone paradigm.
Yes,
like
sir.
I've been playing with these quote unquote pros as a high school guy, and I'm dominating them, so I'm ready now. So he was coming from the paradigm of I'm ready now. I'm not about to wait. I'm ready now. And so because he shifted it from I gotta go to college, or I gotta go to high school, dominate there, go to college, dominate there, then hopefully I can get drafted or bump my draft stock up. So I'm ready now. Forget what y'all like. Again, y'all other guys can still follow this paradigm of going to college, going to But I'm
Not
ready
me.
now.
I'm authoring my own.
I'm about to create my own paradigm.
And not only while you're authoring your own, like Tupac said, I can only take it so far. I'm only going to take it so far. But the homies pulling up, watch them. Because I'm just sparking them. You know, so being your own author, doing what you want to do, doing what you need to do, being obedient to what God told you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all got the whisper, we all know, you know, doing that is going to make your story, your paradigm amazing for you and people directly involved with you. But oh boy, will somebody stumble up on it like I stumbled up on Reverend Ike, like you stumbled up on, what's his name, Myron
Golden.
Like you stumbled up on just living your truth, living your paradigm, man. And it's so powerful. And before we go to break, I definitely would like to say this. With all this stuff going on with Diddy and Hove, and, you know, we can take it back as long as, you know, the story of music exists. If you see there's a need to be filled in a paradigm, let's be able to fill that gap. Pause. If niggas is dropping like flies, whether it be to actual death, whether it be to their bad decisions making coming back to them, you know, but there's a serious need in the paradigm of creativity right now. And please do your due diligence to be valuable enough, to be skillful enough, to be controlled enough to fill that gap. I went to TikTok today. Y'all, my confidence level, I really, shout out to Kobe for everything that he represents. But it's something there about putting in the work to get the advantage and then knowing you have the advantage and being okay and thriving in said advantage. That's okay. If you put in the work, if you spend enough time in the paradigm and then you become your own paradigm, it's okay with living in that and being confident in that. Because the people around you won't even put in 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
And I'm willing to put in my whole life.
So even giving that 2 minutes is somewhat already putting you ahead of the pack.
It's already if 2 minutes could put you ahead of the pack, Dane, what can an hour do? What could taking an hour and a half course do? 2-hour basketball practice. 45-minute gym session. If a 2-minute doing anything could give you an advantage over 85% of everybody that you're around, imagine if you did 10 minutes. Imagine if you did finish the book. Imagine if you did. It's just really a lot of growth, and we have to spend so much time because, when was that? Yesterday? No, 2 days ago. I had a very long day. I don't even like the word long in that perspective, pause. I had a very productive day. There was a lot of places I need to be, a lot of stuff that I need to get done, handled them all. And it was time for me to slip off the shoes, shower up, get into bed. And as soon as I even thought about comfortable, the whisper was like, are you rich as you want to be?
Facts.
Are you where you want to be?
You can do more.
You can do more.
You got 5 more minutes.
You got 5 more. And got the fuck up. And what also plays in my head is when I spend, like today is Work Wednesday. Happy Work Wednesday to everybody. Please do something that you know that you're passionate about. Put in that work. Not at work. Of course, work diligently. Please. Extra on Wednesdays. But entrepreneurs, this is our day. Entrepreneurs, Work Wednesday is our day. If don't nobody know us for nothing, they know us for putting in that fucking work on Wednesday. So sometimes when you put that work in, sometimes when you get the paper, you got all the tools, you putting in the time. Sometimes you will only get one line down.
Yep.
Whether you drawing or in the studio. It may only be one line, one ad lib. It may not even be a line. You may have just sat there and looked at the paper, looked at the Pro Tools, looked at the lesson. You could have been doing there and your mind been completely there. All said effort will be blessed. All said effort will be sufficient to get you exactly where you want to go. Why? Because you put in said effort, and that is doing more than you have to do. One. And that is doing exactly what God wants you to do. The bit of obedience, man, could overflow your cup for real. Agreed or disagreed?
I agree.
Put in that effort.
Like you said, obedience, discipline. The dirty D word, discipline. Pause.
I'm sorry, I'm just playing with the sound effect. We about to go to a quick break. We'll be right back. God Talk Live, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. What's the deal?
Are you ready for the things that you say you want? Cause I can give them to you. Doing all the things that I said I won't. But I can do that for you. I hope you like the finer things in life. If not, get used to it. That's what you should get. All I need is you. Yeah, all I need is you.
Their vision for it only went to I just want to create refrigeration. Whereas Coca-Cola, for example, was like, we want to create this product that's going to be refreshing. Well, damn, the product never served cold. I mean, well, not necessarily credit, but they used this guy's invention to make their product.
Damn. Crazy ass dream. Hey. Hey, you ain't gonna believe it. You ain't gonna believe this dream I had last night, nigga. Hey, you produced this song called Pull Up, nigga. It's something like, pull up, she know it's going down when I pull up. It's like, ooh, nigga, that shit was hard. Like, look, I pulled up with the all-white Bentley truck. You know what I'm saying? The homies was out there. Nigga was like a whole barbecue.
She ain't never seen a nigga run these racks up. Treat the blunt like the Henny stay loaded up. If it ain't about the money, I don't give a fuck. Baby, know it's going down when I pull up. Pull up. Baby, pull up. Pull up. She know it's going down when I pull up. She know it's going down when I pull up. When I pull up, that shit going down. BB skirt off in a Lambo truck. I'm the hottest nigga in the city right now. Broke niggas hate on my name. Not one nigga broke in my game. Spend the whole bag on the chain. Spend the whole bag on your brain. If you ever try to take my chain, don't wait. Get it right now. Don't wait till it blow up. Then try to let a nigga fuck. Bitch, you too late. Is you stupid or what? Think I wanna fuck cause her ass so fat. Tricking on a bitch, I ain't built like that. Learn from the old niggas in a Cadillac. Young nigga ballin' no salary cap like what? She ain't never seen a nigga run these racks up. Treat the blunt like the Henny stay loaded up. If it ain't about the money, I don't give a fuck. Baby, know it's going down when I pull up. Pull up. Baby, pull up. Pull up. She know it's going down when I pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Money ain't a thing, switch your lane. Pull up. Pull up. We ain't getting money and the thing gon' change. Baby, you fucking with a real ass nigga. Baby, you fucking an NFL ass nigga. Baby, why you stressing? I'm just trying to build with you. Baby, you ain't dealing with no broke ass nigga. Yeah, these LA streets proud of me. Got away with the robbery. Fuck them niggas who doubted me. Niggas owe me apologies. Your bitch wanna follow me. Bitch wanna swallow me. Getting money, show Donald Trump how to boost the economy. She ain't never seen a nigga run these racks up. Treat the blunt like the Henny stay loaded up. If it ain't about the money, I don't give a fuck. Baby, know it's going down when I pull up. Pull up. Baby, pull up. Pull up. She know it's going down when I pull up.
You
What's up, everybody? We back live. God Talk Live. Mr. August stepped away for a second, so we go politic real quick about some paradigms. And as we've been talking about, as we've been sharing, it's important for us to understand how powerful our imaginations are in regards to being able to create our own roadmap. Now, a lot of you might be thinking to yourself, like, how can we create a roadmap if we have no sense of direction? Because if we are inventing, if we're not using what has been done in the past to move forward, then how can we move forward? So think of it kind of like a map. If we want to get from Los Angeles to New York driving, we can follow the route that the map tells us to follow. Now, there's going to be some routes that people say you should take in order to get from Los Angeles to New York in a safe manner. But there's also other routes out there that haven't been forged yet, or that no one has necessarily authored, and you can create it. You can create your own route from Los Angeles to New York. You don't necessarily have to take the beaten path, the traditional way. All right? And so again, how do we do this? We start off with a vision for what we want to create in the future. So again, if you are someone and you want to travel, you live in Los Angeles and you want to travel to New York for the first time, it's just as simple as establishing the vision. I am going to travel to New York and visit, the Grand Central Station or the World Trade Center, whatever it is that you want to do, but you're going to set that vision for yourself. Once you set that vision for yourself, the next step is going to be now, all right, again, how do I, what's next? How do I get there? You know that you can't go from the past, what's been done in the past. Because again, you can't reinvent a future based upon what's already been done in the past. You got to create from the unknown. So again, you have routes, the beaten paths, as you would say. And if you look at, I guarantee you, if you have an uncle or your dad or your granddad who used to be a road warrior, they was traveling back and forth to the South, I'm willing to bet that if you pulled out some of their old maps, they'd have a route highlighted as the way to go, as the way you should go from Los Angeles to New York, for example. It's going to be a highlighted route. So that highlighted route that you would see on the map, that represents what has been done in the past. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't go these other routes because I don't know what's out there. It's unknown. It's uncharted territory. So you should follow this route that I've been taking for the last 20 years. But this is what we got to start understanding when we're talking to individuals giving us quote-unquote advice based upon their paradigm, their route, the roadmap that they've been using to navigate through life. Terrain changes. Roads get moved. Roads get created. New roads get created. New access points. New bridges. So new paths in a sense. But again, these new paths are authored by people who created new paradigms. They authored new paradigms. They took the highlighter, and instead of it being an orange highlight of what the route to take to get from Los Angeles to New York, now there's a blue highlight of an alternative route. Within the next generation, they come with a green highlighter and they forge their route. So in all these different color routes from Los Angeles to New York, they're all going to help you get to the same outcome. It's just the route that you're taking to get there, and what you go see while you're on said route, the journey that you're gonna have. So again, you set your vision. Then as far as the specific route that you need to take, that's where the what next question comes from, because that's how we create from the unknown. What's next? So you want to get from Los Angeles to New York. All right, well, what's next? You have to decide a mode of travel. So are we taking a plane? Are we taking a car? Are we taking a bus? What's next? Are we taking a boat? Oh, no, we go take a car. Okay, well, what's next? All right, well, how long is it going to take us to get from Los Angeles to New York driving? so that we can make sure we have the proper resources in regards to gas and food and other, maybe some medications that need to be taken by the individuals traveling. So you want to make sure you got all your resources. Then it's what's next. And then now you're getting in a constant cycle of what's next, as opposed to that cycle, as we talked about before the break, of should or shouldn't, or ought to, or supposed to, or, I could be doing this, but, I should be doing that because I should be here. And again, people could go through that cycle for their whole life without being conscious of it. So that's what we're here for, to help you make you conscious of these things so that you can start making better decisions. So after you have that vision and then you start asking, what's next, then it's just about you staying focused on taking the proper step next. And it's just that simple. That's how you get into that flow state of creating from the unknown. Because again, you're doing something that hasn't been done before, because you're trying to bring a vision into reality that hasn't been done before. So you can't reinvent from the past. You got to create from establishing that future vision for what you want to be, and then figuring out what's next in order to build that bridge from the point where you at in life at this point in time to where you want to be. Because remember, just because you're successful doesn't mean that there's not another level of success. Music, for example, Sean would know. Music. So, there's the artist, there's levels of success. You first getting your first deal, and then your first award, and then now you're selling out little venues. Now you're selling out arenas. Now you're selling out stadiums. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be levels, but you don't necessarily have to take the same route that has been taken or operate from a paradigm that's already been done to still get to these destinations that you're trying to get to. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I just had a very, very important phone call.
Good.
Very, very important. But from what I heard as I kind of was eavesdropping, yeah, absolutely everything that you said was on par, and I love how you elaborated on some of the things that could have been misunderstood from earlier.
Exactly. Because that's what I'm learning, bro, is we got to realize that just because we understand the concept, we understand it from, again, our point of view. But a lot of people could be looking right now and just still I just don't understand what they're saying. They're saying this word paradigm, they're using mental maps. But again, if we add the context to it, then it helps them understand the concepts better so they can apply it to their life. So for paradigms, for example, I was saying, imagine we had to drive from Los Angeles to New York. How will we, what's next? Obviously, what route? But those routes is going to represent paradigms. So I'm willing to bet if we looked at some of our uncles or our grandfathers' old maps and when they used to be driving up and down these roads, we would see, let's just say, some orange highlighted route from Los Angeles to New York. Okay. Take the 10 to the 95 to the 40 to the 287, and then you're gonna be in New York. No, I'm just.
Oh, okay.
I was just throwing numbers out there. I don't know. But just for the sake of example, you know what I'm saying? If you take these four highways, this orange highlighted route, then you'll get from Los Angeles to New York. But that represents, you know what I'm saying, a paradigm. What was done in the past? Because Unc took this path for the last 20 years. And he can tell you everything about that path. Because that's the one he's been taking for the last 20 years. Mm-hmm. But as you're looking at this map, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying, these paradigms, you're telling, kind of looking at yourself like, well, I see I'm in Los Angeles and New York, and I see he pretty much takes this south to the from coast to coast, this southern route, then he goes, north. But let's just go south from the west, and then let's go north. Let's what that route like?
Or why are we even driving in the first place? Think it's planes now. It's evolution. It's transition. It's growth. It's so many ways and reasons to rethink and reinvent and reevaluate after you've studied the roadmaps of your fathers and your uncles.
So as you said that, it made me think of another way of looking at the paradigms on that point. So right now, Elion's working on the, the Hyperloop or the Hypertube from Los Angeles to Vegas.
Elion? Who the fuck is that?
Elon Musk.
Oh, hell no.
Go ahead.
So, but again, that's something that hasn't been done before. So that requires new technology, new ways of new modes of transportation, new ways of storing energy, new ways of doing things. And you can't create that based upon what's been done in the past. What has been done in the past is definitely a good reference point to start from, but you're going to have to do something totally different than what you've done to get a totally different output, totally different result. And so, again, Elion, again, we had driving, we had boats.
Oh, hell no.
We had boats.
Elon, man.
Elion. Elion.
I'm like, what water company did what? They created what? Elion. Oh.
Yeah, your boy Elon. That is how you pronounce his name, Elon. I don't know who I was listening to. I heard him say Elion. Like he a water brand.
Oh God, it sounds like a water brand, nigga. I was thirsty as a motherfucker.
But Elon. But nevertheless, again, Elon he's operating from, he ain't operating from that paradigm and shit. You know what I mean? He can't if you doing new things, because again, you have to be a visionary. You know what, bro? People should be able to have a Winnebago and be able to drive it wherever they want to go in the world, and still be able to access the internet and still be able to live their life how they want to live it. You know what? Okay.
Starlink.
So, right. So now, well, what's next? Okay. Well, they're gonna have to have a power source. Okay. Well, and they're gonna have to have some sort of way of connecting to the internet. So what's next? All right. Well, let's create, these batteries. Or let's look into these different technologies. Or what's the most efficient and effective? Okay, we go do these batteries. All right. Well, what's next? All right. Well, we go test them out and did it, and then it's just a constant loop of what's next. And then the same thing with the Starlink. All right, how do we keep them connected? Well, because again, they can't be hardwired in. You know what I mean? They're not gonna have physical connection to plug into. Well, what's next? Well, we've been looking into to broadcasting a signal from a satellite. All right. Well, what's next? All right, well, we can create this thing called Starlink, and that's going to allow people to connect to the internet no matter where they're at in the world. They can be in the middle of nowhere and still get a strong internet connection. That way, if they want to live off grid in the Winnebago, they'll have power because we giving them batteries, and they going to have internet because we giving them Starlink. And you know what? We might as well go into the RV market. We already doing cars and semis. We might as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's doing some version of some type of tiny house, because I want to say I saw something about him doing something with tiny houses. So again, it's all a vision though. Like, you got to have this vision first.
And can I be real, y'all? I'm gonna be real for a second, because you never know where you're going could unlock. Being at TikTok today, I heard, because I've been getting a lot of job offers, mashallah. And they've all been highly compensated, well compensated job offers. The TikTok gig, ideally, is the least paying one. But the social currency, the potential of opportunities, the ability to grow, I believe also it'll be a lot of time spent traveling back and forth from China. But it's the least paying job. A lot of the things that we want are attached to the things that we don't want to do, the places that we don't want to be, the people that we don't want to talk to, i.e. strangers. All right? So when we got to do some of these things like going to work, look at going to work different. Look at going to the gym different. Look at some of these things different, because that potential client that you need, that potential lawyer that you need, that potential whatever that you need is someplace that you don't even want to be. I just want to say that.
Yeah. But you got to stay locked in, man. You got to stay locked in, and that's going to be where that discipline comes into play. Because as you said, there's some people who would say, well, you've been putting in all this work, and, you shouldn't take the TikTok gig because it ain't paying you what these other opportunities is paying, so you should take. But again, what is your vision? Was your vision to get the highest paying job, or was it to like get your foot into a space where you can build that social currency? And like I said, that's why a lot of disagreements between people can be easily avoided if people ask, well, what's your vision for the future before they try to give you some advice or try to tell you that what you're doing is wrong or not because you should be doing what they think you should be doing. So we can, if we just take some time to, investigate, I would say, and by asking the questions of just like you said, well, what's your vision for the future? That's why, like now, I never just give. If I'm talking to somebody like one on one, it's like I never just even though I might have a whole bunch of you could be doing this or my own quote unquote should quote. It's still like, well, what's your vision for the future? Because I could be thinking about trying to help you get from, like you said, I'll use my nephew for example. So, I could be thinking like, he's just using basketball as a platform just to, be with the fellas and. Mm-hmm. But his vision for basketball could be like, I'm trying to use it as a platform to, build some social currency in regard, because I have a vision of myself being some sort of broadcaster. I want to be the next, Stephen A. Smith. So if I'm trying to give him advice on what I think he should be, which was quote unquote using college to, pay for your education, whereas he's trying to use the sport of basketball or using basketball to pay for your college education, whereas he's trying to use basketball as a platform to launch his broadcasting career. It's like I will be giving him advice that's not relevant to the direction that he's trying to the vision he's trying to create. So what I'm trying to give him isn't going to help him be the person he needs to be to create the vision that he has for himself. Facts. I can only give him stuff based upon what I think he needs to be to create the vision or to bring into fruition the vision that I have of what I think he should be doing. Fast forward to the other side of that, in that again we can avoid these confrontations or these disagreements or these disputes if we just take some time to figure out, what this person's vision is, as opposed to just assuming that assuming based on you should be going in this direction. For example, the aspiring rapper, I know the aspiring music artist gets a lot of heat, but again, if the Kanyes had bought into the shoulds, you should go to college, Kanye, and get a degree. You come from a good family. Your mom is a good woman. She's a hard worker. She raised you. She put all that effort in. She made sure you went.
She's a professor.
She's a professor. She made sure you went. You went to the good schools, and she put you in these positions to get a good education. You should do that, because that's what you. But it's just like, I got this vision of being a legend. I'm gonna be a legend. And I'm gonna use music as my platform to become a legend in the world. And this is just what I saw. If I gotta lock myself in a room and make 5 beats a day for 3 summers, then that's what I'm gonna do. But a lot of people will say, "Oh man, like he's obsessed," and it's just like, you're right. You're fucking right. You have to be obsessed. Yes, he was obsessed, but again. 5 beats a day for 3 summers is now turned into the man he is today.
Sorry, Kanye. Sorry, Ye. Ye. Artist formerly known as Kanye West. Sorry.
But again, that was a vision he had.
A vision.
And he didn't allow the paradigms of the should and what had been done in the past. You know what I'm saying? He had his own route. You know what I mean? He wanted, like I said, his vision was to be the rapper. So he just knew, all right, well, again, I'm musically inclined. Let me start. What's next? All right, well, I want to rap. Let me make beats. All right, well, what's next? All right, I'm making beats. All right, what's next? Well, people, let me rap in front of people. What's next? Well, people were saying that they asking me more about who making the beats than the bars. All right, well, what's next? Well, maybe I should pivot into making beats real quick. All right, well, what's next? All right, now I'm making beats. All right, well, what's next? Now I'm getting now Jay-Z's on my beats. All right, well, what's next? Now I think this is a good opportunity to pivot back into rapping.
Beautifully said.
Now what's next? All right, like now we go drop the College Dropout. Now I made this years ago.
Insignificant.
Yeah, I made this right when I was insignificant. When I was making beats for these other cats. I'm so because again he never lost sight of his vision, his vision. No, he made pivots, but he just even though he made those pivots, he still didn't lose sight of his vision. He figured out how to use the pivot to still help him turn his vision into a reality. And then he just kept pivoting and what's next, never got trapped in the tyranny of should to finally, you know what I'm saying, now he's Kanye West the rapper. And the rest is history. So just think if Kanye would have listened to them people that said that he should go to college. He should go back to college. You need to re-enroll, Kanye.
Shout out to the people that paved the road for inspiration. Shout out to the people that rode the road of inspiration, drove that motherfucker, and made it look so good. Shout out to inspiration, period, because that is the greatest human act, is to inspire. And on this show, we discovered that inspire really means to inhale and exhale, all right? For real, when you inspire, that's what you're doing. The second definition was to motivate someone to do positive action. Shout out to everybody that's inspiring us. And to be a leader, to be someone that inspires, I mean, you gotta kind of be able to inspire your damn self. You have to be able to soothe your upsets, motivate yourself, get out there and fall in love with the process, fall in love with doing the work. And somebody that has done that for us all is Jamie Foxx. Round of applause.
Facts.
A big inspiration in my life personally, just him being obedient to his gifts and the will of God that was given to him. And we all know Jamie, of course, I believe he got his start on In Living Color. Shout out to Keenan Ivory, man.
Yeah, Keenan Ivory put on so many people. When you look back at it, man,
Legend.
So many legends.
A visionary. Another somebody that could have easily listened to the shoulds and the should nots. All right. And Jamie Foxx came on the scene going crazy. I believe him and J-Lo came in Living Color at the same year. And we all know Wanda. We all know Jamie Foxx from A Living Color. There he grows into his acting, his movies. And then he grows into actually, I think he was a stand-up comic right after In Living Color or somewhere in there. And then he came out with his own comedy special. Then he came out with the movies after that got even bigger, The Rays, The Django's, the Any Given Sundays. He had a TV show as well. He dropped, speaking of Kanye, him and Kanye worked on slow jams with Twista.
Yep.
And then now we got Unpredictable and we got all these other things. And as we know and was very public, he was sick. He told us he had a stroke that my uncle has half of his body left, and a stroke that took out my damn fucking friend, which is crazy. And Jamie Foxx is a survivor, and he looks perfectly healthy. So shout out to Jamie Foxx. And we were going to watch the special at Taco Tuesday last night, but the homie was like, it might kill the mood because it's a little deep, pause, but it may or may not have been a good call, but I was able to watch it with my brother Dane. Can't nobody ever take that moment from us, my brother. With that said, what was your take on what had happened was the brand new Netflix special by Jamie Foxx?
It started off a little slow, but then, and as we said, Jamie got in his bag. And I just am always impressed by his work specifically his ability to mimic other people's voices and mannerisms. And then you dropping that bit of wisdom on that's also one of the main skills he uses to also do the music. So it just goes to show again, imagination. You know, how can I use my voice to add value to the world? You know what I mean? I feel like I'm a funny guy. People laugh when I talk. I have a way of capturing the room, capturing the attention of a room. Now, how can I use this to bring value to the world? I'm gonna be a comedian. All right, well, what's next? Well, let me get on Living Color, or let me start touring. All right, what's next? And again, it's just a snowball effect of what's next. And just finally now, he's been through what he's been through, and like I said, shouts out to his health. He does look good, and it's just fascinating to see that he still got it. You know what I mean? Because the special definitely so maybe the beginning part of the special made it put a little damper on the mood.
A little damper on the mood.
By the time he got to the middle, and when we didn't necessarily get to finish all of it, but yeah, he warmed up.
And
he got into that bag.
What was the reason why it got off slow to me? Pause. Was because I got an issue with Netflix. Netflix sometimes is a little too cookie cutter.
Yeah.
For me. We understand the fake crowd noise is there. The like you said, the splits was too fast, the scenes. It was just a lot. And I've developed a great habit to question any and everything that I see in the rectangles. The phones, the TVs, the easies. Anything that's a rectangle, I just gotta rethink it a little bit. And it
Gotta
came
be
off
a little skeptical.
It came off a little, you know what I mean? It came off a little Netflixy.
Mm-hmm.
A little acty. Again, he's an actor. Will Smith, they're actors. It could be a slap. It could be who knows? These niggas is actors. So a little bit of it in the beginning while he was describing a very, very real situation.
Mm-hmm.
It just seemed a little bit insincere. Just a little bit. And I'm not, again, we're watching this on an entertainment platform. We're from an entertainer. We can't think too deep about it, all right? But it did look a little insincere. But like Dane said, he got into that bag. And when we talk about that bag, if you've seen Mike Needs Security, when he talked about Any Given Sunday, his beef with J-Lo, his beef with Mike Tyson, his beef with LL Cool J, when he talked about he was in his bag, he was in his bag. He got into his bag. I think once he started talking about
For me, it was when he started talking about the pickle.
The pickle. Yeah. Once he started talking about the pickle, man. The pickle will get you. The pickle will get you talking now.
No, actually, he was like, yeah, well, then I came back because he was kind of talking about the pickle, but then, that's when I started paying attention again. Like, what are you talking about? And then it was like you said, it was fire from there.
Shout out to Jamie Foxx, man. Jamie Foxx is good, and not only that, this man is able to be obedient to all his gifts at the same time.
Facts.
If he did act in the beginning, he acted. Then he did his stand-up comedy. Then he had his beautiful daughters on there. Round of applause for all my fathers, man. I see y'all niggas. You feel me? Shout out to all my dads out there. All right. And then the boy sung. Then I think the boy got on the keyboard. I mean, the piano like he did in I Might Need Security. It was, fuck you. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Where that saying came from, it came from Jamie Foxx stand-up. So he's in that same bag. So that's just healthy on so many levels to see. Spiritually, entrepreneurially, culturally, entertainment. It's just so many, musically for sure, because Jamie is a legend in this music game. All right, but with that said, man, please go support our brother Jamie Foxx and his new stand-up. Watch it, man. It is something, he do got some bars about God in there. He actually got me up off my feet a couple times because it's just a spirit, and the spirit that's feeling and falling down on this earth shall not be ignored. It shall not be denied. It got me and my brother on live right now.
Facts.
The spirit is moving, is directing, and is telling us to be places that we may not want to be, and we got to be there for paradigm's sake.
Facts. So on that note, bro, I actually got another meeting at 5. I got to get out of here. So I'll just give some last words from me real quick. Again, be the author of your paradigm. I think those would be my last words today. Be the author of your paradigm and understand that if you're not writing it, you following somebody else's. You following one that's already been here from the past. And if you want to create a future for yourself or based upon this vision that you have, then you have to accept that it is going to be difficult because you are creating from the unknown and you're operating from what's next. But as long as you stay focused, you stay disciplined, you stay dedicated, and you stay committed to your vision, just like Kanye did. You know, you might have to pivot here and there, but use the pivot to your advantage, and you will create the vision that you have for yourself. So be the person you need to be to create the future that you see yourself existing in. Peace.
God love you. I love you. Dane love you. Nothing you can do about it. We out of here.
No effort. You around me, that's preference. Brain on full, but the rest is hairless. I call you to the crib when the world get careless. On your inside, a potion. You feel like the ocean. Man, a raincoat, neck back when you broke. Take me away from all of this hoe shit. You ain't hide nothing but the pussy sugar coat. Touching me like you care. Can't get this love from nobody else. Sometimes we share, but not tonight. Cause you know how to give me what I like. Bow down and praise me. Cause it's been a crazy week. Make me feel amazing, oh girl. I know who to call when I need that good love. Good love. And watch me strong.